Hey, Brandon, you know how you just broke your microphone?
Yeah, I was
That was
there.
my heart last night.
Oh, it just snapped in half like my microphone holder, huh?
Right in half. Right in half. Sorry.
Nothing is going right for us
I
today.
just had to get that guttural roar out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition, the Friday edition, an edition that I think is going to get a little bit more views than usual of the Grossi Perna Show, otherwise known as GPS. Tom Grossi, Brandon Perna, pain.
Yeah.
It's just pain, buddy.
I mean,
all the pain.
Okay, let's just recap the last 14 hours. We do clickbait sports yesterday, Thursday, like we
I don't
always
want to talk
do.
about that. I don't want to talk about that clip. I don't want to talk about any of it.
The clip of Tom being very confident that the Packers are going to get a deal done with Davante Adams.
4 months.
Funny.
4 months.
You know what? I was going to say something during the show, and I didn't. And now I wish I would have. Just for a little fodder. I was going to be like, you're very confident that they're going to get that deal done, Tom, but...
Yep.
And I was just going to, throw a little gasoline on the fire and say, I'm not sure if they will with Davante. I think he'll sit out. I didn't think they were going to trade him. That blindsided me. But
that blinded everybody.
I was going to mess with you, but I was just like, I don't feel good. I don't give a shit. So I'm fighting this cold. I see this Davante Adams news. All I wanted to do was make a video, but started to get a little bit of the fever. I said, dial it back. You ain't doing squat. And then 1 minute before the show starts, I'm trying to adjust my microphone here. And the plastic that holds the microphone in the air just snaps off. Breaks like Tom's heart when Davante Adams was traded. So that's just a technical thing. I know you don't care, but it really pissed me off. And when I first saw Davante Adams was traded, I'm like, oh my God, Tom's going to hate this. And then I saw where he was traded to in the Raiders, and I was like, oh my God, I hate this. I hate this.
Yeah.
The AFC West, shut up. Just shut up. Like, stop.
You know what the best is that 2 days ago, I don't know what day it is anymore. So Wednesday, I put out a Raiders fan reaction to the free agency thus far. And like the first thing I said was, man, I can't wait to get Davante Adams. Oh, the Packers franchise tagged him. So like nothing, just nothing. I have been a Nostradamus. They did get a deal done with Adams. That is true. They did get a deal, and it was to trade him. It was to trade. I have so many thoughts. I mean, I was up until like 2:00 in the morning last night putting out content. We did like a 2-hour stream. A lot of things. A lot of things. There was a reaction video that came out within an hour of the news breaking. Like, honestly, I was gutted by this one. This one hurt. Yeah. Like, this one was just a punch, like, right to the chest. Because I really was confident. I was like, okay, well, we're just going to give him the deal. And that's the thing, too. The Packers offered him the same amount of money. Like, they offered him the same amount. And there's reports that they even offered him more.
Heard that they offered him more. He was just like,
I want to go play with the Raiders. Like, I want to go play with Derek Carr. And, like, I respect it. And, again, there is no ill will towards Davante Adams. He significantly outplayed his contract massively. In my eyes, he's a first-ballot Hall of Famer because of how good he actually is. He's one of the best wide receivers the Packers have ever had in history, and he deserves to get all that money. And if he wants to go play, here's what I'll say. Like, there's a couple of thoughts that I have here. One, the fact the Packers got anything for him is great because you look at, like, Amari Cooper, right? In which he has a massive contract. He gets traded for literally a swap of 6th and a 5th round pick. There was no contract for Davante Adams. As you saw the Raiders, they made him the highest paid, player, wide receiver in NFL history. So the fact that we're able to get something out of him and it was still a 1st and a 2nd isn't the worst thing, because if we go worst case scenario, July 15th could have come and gone and he sits out and then it costs us $20 million and we get nothing for him. So is it great for the offense? Absolutely not. Is it great for the Packers? No. But, there's bright sides to it. It's not like the Packers are going to fold now and be terrible. It's just they're going to be a different offense now.
Oh, they're going to be a lot worse. They're going to be so much worse, Tom. You don't lose the best receiver in football and get better.
Correct. That is correct.
How
many sacks do you think Russell Wilson's going to have in like the first 6 weeks before he breaks another finger?
Shut up. He is going to break all of the records. That's the only thing he's.
How are you going to feel when Patrick Surtain gets burned by Davante Adams twice?
Oh, you mean when he holds him to 1 catch for 3 yards like he did to Jamar Chase?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Jamar Chase was a rookie. Davante Adams
gonna look like a rookie when he's going up against one Pat Surtain.
Yeah. I know that's the Xbox 360, but you're going to get the red ring of death, baby. That's it. But, dude, yeah, your division's just getting better.
Like, I have no idea how this division's going to even shake out.
Nope.
It's the competition's going to be too much. My fear is, like, everybody's like, oh, man, AFC. And I said this I said this right when the Broncos got Russell Wilson. And I was being kind to the Raiders. I was like, the AFC is going to have 4 playoff teams.
Being kind.
Now, I don't think so. Like, there's too much talent there. The AFC West is going to beat the crap out of each other.
Oh, yeah.
And while any team in that division would be prepared for a playoff run, I think just based on them having to play each other, they're going to cannibalize. And maybe 2 teams don't even make the playoffs because the records.
It just splits. Like that's it.
Too many splits.
Judy, appreciate you.
Oh, wow. Is that a pancreas?
It is. The pancreas. We're all the pancreas today.
Yeah. Chiefs fans are finally scared, so that's nice. They got a little bit to worry about.
Yeah, the Chiefs fan again, like that division is just gonna pulverize itself, which is gonna be fun. Like the amount of primetime games there's going to be is gonna be great. The NFC North, I think, is definitely more competitive. Here's what I said last night. I said a lot of things last night. I literally went through all 7 stages of grief in that stream.
I'm sure.
The thing is the Packers still have a great run game with AJ Dillon, of course, right? Got Aaron Jones back there too. Their defense, everything is the same except Darius Smith, who didn't play last year. So that should still be very, very good. So now it's about getting wide receivers. And now the Packers have freed up some cap space. We're supposed to bring back Rasul Douglas. We're going to go out and we're going to pick up at least 1 or 2 free agents for the wide receiver. And then we're going to draft them. And we have 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. Like, we're going to have to pick up or draft an elite wide receiver prospect. Like, we have to. Okay. Like, there's no choice. And as Perna knows, because I've basically said this a cajillion times, over and over again, this has been 2 years in the making of it being a problem. 2 years in the making. And guess what? It's still a problem. So now they got to figure it out. I saw that Matt got his contract restructured.
Khalil?
Yeah.
Oh, idiot.
So
okay. I'm going to ask you about some receivers here in a minute. But first, I want to talk about DraftKings Sportsbook. If you want to bet on the AFC West to cannibalize itself, you can do it only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Yo, use code GPS when you sign up. We got our links in the description. And for new customers, you're getting a shot at royalty with 40-1 odds on any college basketball game. That's right. March is here. And there's a tournament of college basketball that happens in March.
That one team beat the good team.
Go Iowa! It was
the Peacocks. Yay. Brandon, don't worry, I'll be talking about that.
Ooh, yeah. right now. You bet $5 on any college basketball team to win their next game. And if they win, DraftKings will pay out $200 in free bets for new customers. But also everyone can enter DraftKings free $1 million March Mania Survivor Pool, but you must enter before tip-off on March 19th. So each day, pick a game. Pick one team that you think will win that day. If the team,
like Kentucky.
Yeah, if the team you choose wins, you survive to pick another team for the next slate of games. Remember, you can only choose each team once, so choose carefully for your shot at $1 million in total prizes. Code GPS, link in the description. Survivor pools are fun. Sign up at DraftKings. And as soon as they have their AFC West cannibalization bet, I will let you know.
Well, yeah, my bracket right now is perfect. So
yeah, mine too.
Except only 3% of people have it right so far because they picked the Peacock team to beat the other team, and mine's perfect. I don't have any wrong.
Cool.
0 wrong.
Cool.
0.
All right.
You have 0 wrong too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the only person on earth who's ever picked a perfect bracket of 10 years in a row.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah. I don't get a lot of attention for it though.
No, you want to keep it on the DL.
Yeah. I just do it privately. I fill it out and I'm like, God, every team, I picked them all right again.
Yeah.
Why don't I turn this into a way to make money? No, this is just your hobby. This is a passion.
Don't
you
need to
commercialize this and you lose your soul. And I'm not going to do that. No. Not this guy. Check out my coffee cup. Okay, Tom. So I think the Packers definitely will draft a receiver in the first round.
At least one wide receiver.
At least one. And they're going to go after a free agent wide receiver.
Yes.
Who's their free agent receiver? Because the free agency wide receiver pool is drying up. Who's the guy you personally think is the best fit to come in for the Packers and make, an immediate impact?
Jarvis Landry. I want Jarvis Landry. Right? People are talking about OBJ. The guy tore his ACL, guys. Like, we don't know if he's even going to be back in time for September. So I'm putting that pipe dream on the shelf for right now. I'm like, I don't think that's going to be there. But Jarvis Landry, I think he's a very solid receiver. I think he's great for the locker room. He's a great vet, considering we're going to be drafting younger guys. Like, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think it's an addition. People are talking about Juju. I don't know. Like, man, that's kind of how I feel about that. People are talking about Julio. If Julio Jones is willing to take the veteran minimum for a year, then I say Julio Jones, because I want a wide receiver that's going to last the entire year. And maybe Julio Jones has a bounce back, but like, you look at that Titans deal. Oh, that did not work out well for the Titans. So it's 2 seasons now in a row that he has gotten injured. So I think, you have to really be cautious if you're going to bring him there. But I would love Jarvis Landry on the team, like 100%. I would have loved Jarvis Landry even if Davante Adams stayed. I would have loved Jarvis Landry. So
Julio, it wasn't just last year that he wasn't healthy. It's been the last 2 seasons. 2020 with the Falcons, just 51 receptions for 3 TDs. In Tennessee last year, 31 receptions for 1 touchdown. So that's the big question with Julio. Oh God.
Za'Darius. I mean, if Za'Darius goes to the Chiefs, oh my God, that would be amazing. But I mean, Justin Reed. I mean, I don't think you guys are going to make a lot of big splashes. I don't think you're going to. I mean, you already have a good team. So, I'm sorry. What were you saying, Perna?
Julio. I don't think that's the answer for you.
No, I agree.
Jarvis Landry is great because he's kind of a receiver that can do it all. Mostly like just an elite level slot receiver. And when you have a savvy quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, it's a great way to carve up a defense. So you basically, I think the Packers bring in a guy like Landry, and then they got to find their number 1 target, in the draft.
They have to.
they're going to have options too, because it's a pretty good receiver draft class. So not like the last 2 years, but another solid receiver draft class. And I was looking at tight ends too. There's just not like a game-changing tight end available in free agency right now, but also it's a deep tight end draft class. So
Correct.
maybe those are your first 2 picks.
And we'll see what happens with
tight end.
Tunyon as well. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the other thing. Like right now, you look at the guys who have like Will Fuller, the Packers have like, try to bring him on a bunch of times. Like he has that speed. MVS is still out there. Tom Silverstein coming out yesterday and saying like that's the potential that he still comes back. I don't want to get into a bidding war with MVS. Like if he's going to take a relatively cheap deal, I'll be happy with it. But he's not going to be our wide receiver 1. So I would not give him wide receiver 1 money. The Packers, what they have to do is and this is what they should have been doing for the past 2 years. They have to swing on some picks for wide receiver in the early parts. Like they need premium picks so they could develop them. They needed to be doing this while Davante Adams was still on the team, and everyone's like, oh, they could have had T. Higgins over Jordan Love. Haven't heard that joke 18 times. So that's what they need to do. Like they are literally forced to at this point. Yeah, I mean, the Packers, I still think are going to be a good team. So, like I don't think that they're going to like fall flat on their face or anything like that. It's going to be a different offense. I mean, Matt LaFleur's offense thrives when Aaron Rodgers spreads the ball around. And Davante Adams is a Hall of Fame player, in my opinion. However, it's not a knock on Davante Adams. Aaron Rodgers forces the ball to Davante Adams all the time. All the time. Like, that's his, like, instinct of, like, I need to go and do this. I need to force the ball to him. You saw it in the 49ers game. You saw him kind of revert to that every now and then. So I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, for them to, like, change it up a bit. I would like Davante Adams still on this team. I'm very upset that he's not on this team.
Yeah.
But it's not the end of the world, is basically just the bright spot here. It all depends on what the Packers do with it. If the Packers, they hit a home run on 2 draft picks, like that are wide receivers, great. We bring in a couple of guys in free agency, great. If they don't, then this sucks.
Why does Davante Adams hate the Packers so much?
I think he just wanted to play with the freaking Raiders, man. I mean, they had contract talks last August that broke off, and apparently he was ugly. And then apparently it died down a little bit. And then it picked up again this past week. And I mean, that's what his dream was. Like, he wanted to just play for the Raiders, because that was the question too, is under the franchise tag, teams could have matched their offer sheet and they could have given 2 first-round picks for Davante Adams. But the problem is Davante Adams didn't want to just go anywhere. He wanted to go to the Vegas Raiders.
No, yeah,
that was the only other place that he wanted to go. Say again?
Yeah. He said he would only go. He'd only play for the Raiders.
So at this point, the Packers had 0 leverage whatsoever. So if Davante Adams said, I don't want to sign with you, which is basically what he said because we offered him the money. If you're saying I'm not going to sign with you, well, then there's 2 options. There's one, okay, well, we're going to hope that you change your mind and throw out $20 million and you might potentially sit. Or we trade you and get some value out of him. We got a first and a second for him. So, and that's a lot of money. Like, he got paid, rightfully so. He got paid. Yeah, he wants to go play with Carr. He wants to go play with his college QB. Like, I get it. So,
yeah. What's funny is, Davante Adams is going to make more for the Raiders than Russell Wilson right now for the Broncos. So The Raiders are paying more for a receiver than the Broncos are for the quarterback. Also, this makes the Allen Robinson signing in LA look so savvy. Robinson, a 3-year, $40 million deal, $30 million guaranteed.
He would have been like my number 1 guy. He would have been the number 1 guy if this happened and Robinson wasn't signed.
Yeah. So it's a ton of money for Davante Adams. I think he definitely commands that.
Yeah.
But, if the Raiders aren't deep into the playoffs, then come January or February, you'll be like, oh, they overpaid for Davante Adams. Now, they gave up a first and second round pick, and it's a new regime there. Prior, I would say get rid of those picks because the Raiders don't know how to draft in the first or second round.
Yeah.
They are just completely inept. But
exactly.
that was Gruden and Mayock. They're gone. So losing those picks, not the best thing, but fudge. I mean, Davante
You got a Hall of
Adams,
Fame wide receiver. Like it
Tyreek
was
Hill.
arguably one of your biggest needs, right? I mean,
Allen,
no more Henry Ruggs. Like, Zay Jones is gone. Like, you needed to get a guy there. And the best case scenario, that if you're the Raiders, is that you drafted a wide receiver and he turns out to be really good, in the first round. Now you know for a fact that you're getting a Hall of Fame guy and you have him for 5 years. So,
yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. They ain't getting rid of Carr now.
No.
Like all those rumors of oh, he's not their guy. Ain't going anywhere now.
Yeah. Adams, he's just 29. So
yeah.
You got 3 probably elite years left.
Josh McDaniels. Let's see if he ruins them. Again, I hope Davante Adams does well. I like Davante Adams a lot. He's one of the nicest guys that I've actually ever met in person. Like super duper nice, super chill. So
yeah, that's the other problem with him going to the Raiders. Too nice. I wish he were a jerk so I could just hate him over there. But the Raiders already have one of my favorite players in little tiny Hunter Renfrow.
Renfrow, Adams, Waller. That offense could be actually good.
They've got too many. Well, yeah, they've got the worst stories in the NFL and some of the best stories.
Yep.
Like Darren Waller, Max Crosby overcoming addictions and being super sort of like positive influences on the team in the locker room. Hunter Renfrow is a 45-year-old man or a 20-year-old man trapped in a 45-year-old man's body. Like he's like the Benjamin Button, but
I think he was okay.
I don't know. He's a lot of things, little Hunter Renfrow. And then Adams, just based on the way he interacts with the media too, you're like, oh yeah, I like this guy. Because he takes it serious in that he wants to make sure he answers their questions and takes his time to give them something to work with. So there's too much to like there, and I don't like that. I
don't like that I like you.
Yeah, I don't like that I respect some of the players for the Raiders.
I just want to disrespect all of them. Yeah, again, it's not great for the Packers, but there's a lot that could come out of it. And it's just going to depend on what the Packers are going to do between now and the draft. And there's plenty of time for that, just like there was plenty of time for a Davante Adams deal. But alas.
Here's a fun question. Who has more receiving yards in 2022? Allen Robinson?
Davante Adams. Robinson has is Robert Woods still contracted under them, or is it?
Apparently they're listening to trade offers for Robert Woods. So,
oh god,
he's coming off a torn ACL as well as OBJ. I think the Rams want to keep OBJ and
trade Woods.
They
have Kupp, Jefferson. They're stacked at receiver.
Honestly, the Packers should try and trade for Robert Woods if he's available.
The injury scares me. It's just I would not trade a first round pick for him.
No, I don't think they're going to get that. I think you're looking at a 3rd or 4th round pick for Robert.
If they want a 4th, I will do a 4th all the live long day. All the live long day, I'll do a 4th. But yeah, torn ACL, no, don't like that. And again, I don't want the Packers to go make a big splash and trade for a big guy. No, they don't need to do. They need to develop a wide receiver, and they have to, because otherwise, what the hell are we doing? We're in the same spot. I don't know a guy that they could go out and trade for right now. So many people were like, "What about DK Metcalf?" And I'm like, I don't think the Seahawks are going to trade DK Metcalf. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, you're starting to sound like Broncos fans.
Yeah. So I don't think that's going to be there. Julio, again, he's just injured. If he does a 1-year Vetman deal, fine. That's it, though. And you're still picking up another, guy in free agency, and you're probably drafting at least 2. Like there's no way around it. So we'll see. I mean, the big question that's going to come out for the draft now, do the Packers trade up? Because now they have capital. Like, do they trade up and they go get like one surefire guy that they think is going to be a home run?
Ooh, like Drake London or Garrett Wilson, Jameson Williams.
Yep.
Chris Olave. There's going to be guys there.
The Packers, Goody is good in the first and second round. So, I have no doubt that they'll be able to get somebody. They just gotta swing.
Are they going to trade? Are they going to trade Jordan Love? What could you get for Jordan? A third rounder?
I think a second. I think in this QB market, I think you can get a second. I do. Blow that nose. Oh, why'd you mute it? I think honestly they could get a second round pick, but I don't think they're going to trade him. I think they hold on to him for at least another year. That's what my opinion is, just because he's costing nothing for them. So,
and he's providing them nothing.
True. Well, he's providing insurance.
If they could get like a third and a sixth for him or something, they should trade him. They should trade him. Or they're going to sign Rasul Douglas, right?
That's what it looks like it's going to happen. Yeah.
Well,
so that's good. I'm very happy about that. And
Olave.
Corners of Stokes, Jair, Rasul Douglas. That's pretty good secondary. So
basically, you're competing with the Buccaneers. That's all, and the Rams. You got 3 teams right now.
I think the 49ers are still going to be very good.
Oh yeah,
I know Trey Lance.
Trey Lancey.
Yeah, but I think we have a good shot still winning the division. It's too much in flux right now. Like the Bears, I don't think are going to be good. The Lions are going to be better, but they're not going to be great. And it's really it comes down to the Vikings. If they actually utilize that offense, they're going to be like the primary challenger to the division. But it depends on what the Packers are able to do. So,
Devin Funchess.
That's it. It's just uncultured. You gotta develop young guys. Like you have to. And you have to spend like premium picks. You have to spend first and second rounders in the draft on wide receivers. You have to.
I mean, look at what Denver did, right? They have Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy.
Mm-hmm.
They spent a second rounder on Sutton, a first rounder on Jerry Jeudy. They also drafted KJ Hamler alongside Jerry Jeudy, same draft.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm very aware.
There's big question marks around those guys in terms of overall production because they haven't played with a quarterback. And now that they have Russell Wilson, the thought is we've seen Cortland Sutton be very dominant. Good. We've seen Jerry Jeudy be open every single play, even though the ball's not coming to him. So the assumption there is they're going to thrive now that they have Russell Wilson. And that's why there's optimism for the Broncos passing game.
Sure.
Even though they don't have the stats like Davante Adams, like Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. And even Noah Fant was a guy that they had to give up Fant for part of the trade, but they got Albert O behind him. So
yeah,
the Broncos were drafting correctly, but they didn't have the QB. The Packers have the QB, and now that they should know what the plan is, they should be able to find someone in this draft. Maybe a guy we're not even talking about right now who is the best receiver, turns out to be the best receiver. Like if you're a good receiver and you go to a team with a guy like Aaron Rodgers, there's a good chance you're going to be
a great one.
Very above average.
Correct.
at worst. So I get what you're saying where you're not freaking out about losing Davante Adams because you can replace a good amount of his production. You can't replace everything he does.
Yeah. Well, this is what I'll say because the Packers wide receiver core and their special teams are enigmas to me.
It's a random guy.
There you
Back
go.
on top, baby.
Back on top. They're enigmas to me because you look at the special teams, and I've said this, there's no role guys. There's no guys that are like, you're our special teams guy, you're our gunner, like you're our guys who are going to be like our return guy, and that's it. The Patriots have done this. Basically, like you are just on the team to be the returner. You are just on the team to be a gunner. Like 1 or 2 roster spots that are just for special teams. But you look at the wide receiver group, and they're all role guys. There was one guy who could do everything, and that was Davante Adams. There was the speed guy, that was MBS. You look at Alan Lazard, who was like a good possession guy. And that was it. Like that, that basically was like your entire wide receiver core. You had Randall Cobb, who was like mixed in the slot, but they didn't utilize him a whole lot. He was your clutch guy every now and then. They did not have more than one wide receiver who could do everything. That was just Davante Adams, and that's it. And you look at where they spent all of these picks, it makes sense. Davante Adams was a 2nd-round pick, right? Randall Cobb was a 2nd-round pick. Not since like Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, and Davante Adams did you have like that passing attack. And so because of that, we relied on Aaron Jones basically being a wide receiver 1. On top of that, we utilized tight ends, and Robert Tonyan a couple years ago had that big season. And it's not necessarily a bad thing when the offense is built around just spreading the ball, but it is a hindrance when you have guys that are no longer there because you have guys who can't do everything. You don't have those elite wide receivers, and that becomes a problem. Again, I still think it's the Chiefs and the Chargers are up top, then the Broncos and Raiders.
There's Broncos, and all the rest of the teams can eat a turd. I'm coming into this season
he's coming in hot
on confidence.
He's coming in hot.
Here's what's crazy. I don't even know if the Chiefs are the best team. I don't even know if that's even true. Let's talk about, a couple ways to look at this. One, in terms of picking up where the teams left off, the Chiefs and the Chargers have the most consistency, right? Mm-hmm. Quarterbacks, coaches, most of their team all stay together. So yeah, you could easily put those 2 at the top and nobody's going to really say you're an idiot. You're wrong. Raiders, Broncos, new head coaches. Raiders got Derek Carr coming back. So yeah, you could put the Raiders above the Broncos in terms of knowing what to expect. The Raiders got into the playoffs last year. They just acquire Davante Adams, Chandler Jones. So they made their team better too. They made their team a lot better in free agency. So yeah, the biggest X factor is the Broncos. Even if Russell Wilson is the answer, even if Hackett was the right hire, sometimes it takes a little bit of time for those things to gel, the chemistry to get there. Russell Wilson's going to be learning kind of a new offense that he and Hackett sort of designed together. That shit takes time. Russell Wilson learning to develop chemistry with his teammates takes time. Even when LaFleur came over with Rodgers, it took him a little bit to get going. But once they both learned each other and Rodgers bought into what they were doing, it was great. And it was great that season. So yeah, the Broncos are the biggest X factor. I think they improved the most this offseason. But the Chiefs are the only team you look at and say they didn't get a lot better. The Chargers got a lot better. The Raiders got a lot better. The Broncos got a lot better.
If I'm a Chiefs fan, their secondary, I'm worried about it. I know you got Justin Reed, but I'm worried about your secondary.
The Chiefs?
Yeah.
Oh, a little bit. Yeah. You could easily make the argument that the Chiefs have done not enough to hang with everyone else as well. But, they've been too consistent.
They already have the foundation. Like, they already have so much talent on that team.
Even last year, they looked bad early in the season. Not even bad, just not themselves. And then they went on a tear. It's going to come down to whichever team stays the healthiest is going to be the biggest factor. One of those teams is going to suffer too many injuries and it's going to take them out of the running. It happens every year across the NFL. We can't predict it right now, but injuries are going to be an issue. I think that's going to really determine who finishes atop the AFC West.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to make any predictions because I don't want to curse my team.
I just want them to put up 30 points a game, each team, just playing against each other. It's going into overtime. It's just going to be wild.
Honestly, I think the team that runs the ball the best also has a chance to separate themselves. And it's not even a team that's going to run the ball for, like have like a 1,300-yard rusher or whatever. It's going to be the team that can run the ball most effectively. Like the line is the most physical up front. It's key situations where you can running in the red zone. And the way you negate all of those crazy edge rushers is to be able to run the ball well. And honestly, the Broncos are in the best situation to have the best run game going into next season. So I think that nobody's talking about that because the teams are going to throw a lot. But I think you slow down the opposing offense by controlling the clock a little bit. And I think the Broncos are in the best situation to have the best running game.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Garrett,
You got a fitty.
With a fitty. Boop. I got you, buddy. I got you.
Meow. Fitty.
Yeah. Cowboys losing some peeps. Again, it's just the big contracts and cap and everything. That's what I'm saying. If you're comparing the Amari Cooper situation to the Davante Adams situation, you're much happier. I'm not saying Amari Cooper was a Hall of Famer, but he was still a very good wide receiver, and they got next to nothing for him because they needed to clear out his contract. The Packers got a first and a second, which they can turn into a number of good players depending on how they draft. It's just the unknown right now.
Packers should have made the play for Amari, honestly.
I mean, they couldn't afford his contract.
Yeah, but they should have.
They should have had money.
They should have had. Speaking of money, DraftKings.
Nailed it.
Sportsbook. Hey, do you like money? Yes. Well, why don't you try DraftKings Sportsbook, where you can turn your money into more money, or you can lose your money. That's what sports betting is.
What's happening?
Please look away if you are prone to seizures, because I am clicking.
Stop giving people seizures, Perna.
Look, code GPS. You can get 40-1 odds on any college basketball game. You bet $5 on any college basketball team to win their next game, and if they win, DraftKings will pay out $200 in free bets. That's for the new customers. Old customers or anyone can play in their survivor pool. Each day, pick a game. Pick one team you think will win that day. If that team does win, you survive to pick another team for the next day. DraftKings is letting everyone play in the pool. It's free. It's a $1 million March Mania survivor pool, but you got to do it before March 19th.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah. So you do it now. And when you do it, sign up with code GPS. Link in the description. College basketball, if you want to make it a little more interesting, you can do it through DraftKings Sportsbook. They support this show. We support them. We're like a sports bra. We're the sports bra. Yep.
Okay. That's a pretty good punishment. We get to dictate the topic of the loser. For a week is a long time. Like, I would say, like, you get to choose a video that the other person makes, especially like football season. You can't do it, but like, a video. They're pretty good. They're good. Brandon Cooks, we're not going to trade for him. The Texans want to build around him, so I don't know. I mean, what's Calvin Ridley up to?
Ooh, that would be a nice ad.
It would be, but he's not going to help this year.
Oh, yeah, he's out. He is gone.
Yep. God. Everyone is saying Antonio Brown. No. Get it, go away. Go.
Want to sell your soul for a Super Bowl?
The worst thing is, like, you can't tell me he wouldn't be good on the Packers. But
oh, my God.
It'd just be disgusting. But no. If, oh, God. If Mercedes Lewis was like, I'll kill you if you do something wrong, which he might, like, no. I'm not going to talk myself into this. No.
AB, Donda forever.
No.
He wants to buy. Him and Kanye are still going to buy the Broncos. So
there you go. Yep. Yeah, no, I'm not doing it. I don't care. No. It'd be crazy if he was good though. But like, I can't. I hate saying that. It's like, because Bruce Arians said that too. He's just like, he is one of the most talented and like hardest working players ever had, like ever. And it's just a shame that things happen the way they did. It would implode.
Rodgers,
Maybe
AD.
sharing Vax cards. Like, it'd be bad. So no.
I'd like to see it.
No, of course you would. You just want to see it burn now. You don't care. You're sitting in your nice ivory tower. You got your Russell Wilson, and you're like, oh, here I go now. Okay, we'll see.
He'd burn down the world just to be king of the ashes.
What happens when you lose like 48-0 week 1?
Oh, that'll be rough.
Like all this hype, and it immediately gets derailed.
Yeah. Honestly, that's my fear now. The Russell Wilson high was so nice, and then the rest of the AFC West was like, hold our beers. Just there's a lot of talent there. It's the most stacked, maybe ever, a division's ever been in terms of talent. Kind of working on a video about like, does the AFC West have the best quarterbacks ever, all at the same time? So I think it's true. They do. And now you're throwing in you got all these edge rushers. You've got premier receivers. Like if Adams, is he going to be a Hall of Famer? Probably. Travis Kelce, Hall of Famer. Tyreek Hill, Hall of Famer. Just too much talent.
I don't know if I agree with that.
About what?
Them having like at the same time, like all the best. Because there was a time where there was Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, and Matthew Stafford. They were all playing at the same time.
Yeah, but at the time, Stafford was not considered one of them.
He was a youngin'.
Yeah. I mean, that's an interesting one to think of. I put that. I have that.
Yeah, he would have been too young because Favre.
And Favre was too old.
Yeah, because Favre. Hold on 1 second. So Favre. Because his last year was 2010. So Stafford, 2010, yeah, he only played like 3 games. So, yeah, he wouldn't have been the guy yet.
It also gets.
So you're saying like in their prime, like still we acknowledge them.
Well,
as really
just all at the same time. So that's a close one to think about. But like, who was the 4th quarterback in that division at the time?
Who's the Bears guy at that? Oh, that was Jay Cutler, right?
Was it Cutler?
I think it was Cutler because the Packers. Well, no. Yeah, I think it was Cutler. So
that's a solid competitor.
Yeah, but again, like Stafford, you're right. Stafford really wasn't like that guy yet. And technically Aaron Rodgers really wasn't that guy yet. And like when you had this like weird, like Favre was doing really well, they go to the NFC Championship game, then Favre falls off a cliff and like Rodgers starts to ascend. So at the same time, I mean, like Herbert, Wilson, Mahomes. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty darn good. Oh, Drew, you know what? That's a good call, though. Drew Brees, Tom Brady, and Matt Ryan. Again, Brees, I wouldn't say was at his prime or anything, but yeah. Chris, maybe. There's rumors that they might go after Juju. Yeah, no, that's interesting.
Yeah. It's a video Will and I are working on, but, something to think about.
Something to ponder, something to do. By the way, real quick, Leighton Vander Esch going back to the Cowboys. Yay, the Cowboys did something. Scooter will be happy about that.
Oh, you got back Leighton Vander Esch.
He'll be happy with that. The other thing, Deshaun Watson, that everybody and their mother is like waiting for this news. And I really thought it was going to break yesterday. Like I really, really thought that was it. But Rappaport tweeting out, Panthers are officially out, which I feel like we already knew earlier in the day. It's down to the Saints and the Falcons. There was a report that came out yesterday while we were doing clickbait that was like debunked / not confirmed. So we're still waiting on that. Again, if you're the Texans, why are you not trading him to the Falcons? They have the better draft picks. They're probably going to be worse. Like if you're the Texans, I mean, because if Watson says yes to both of them,
yeah,
and he's like, yeah, both these are fine.
They're
like,
waiting for him to decide. Basically, he's got to say which team he wants to go to.
If I'm the
I don't
Texans,
think it's a situation where he's like, I'll go to either. you guys make the call. I think he's
you better, if you're the Texans, you're hoping he picks the Falcons because I think you're just going to get a better return.
Yeah, you definitely get a better return depending on what players are offered up too. So,
well, that's interesting too because the Saints have better players that they could poach. But are you going to act like?
I look at it like this:
the Texans aren't going to be competitive this year.
If I'm Deshaun Watson, I pick the Saints because they have a much better defense.
Yes.
I just think you're more set to win. They have better weapons on offense right now. If you want to succeed right away, the Saints are a better spot. As a fan, I want to see him go there just so they can compete with the Buccaneers. As a sports YouTuber, I want to see him go to the Falcons because that sets off a chain reaction of shit that's going to make free agency even more wild because then Matt Ryan's going to go to a different team.
Yep.
Maybe if Watson goes to the Falcons, then maybe Matt Ryan is going to the Colts.
Going the Colts, Seahawks. I mean, like they're Browns.
Maybe Matt Ryan goes to Cleveland at that point. And then you're moving Baker Mayfield, who wants to be traded. The Browns say no, but if the Browns can upgrade with Matt Ryan, I'm sure they'll deal Baker Mayfield. Where's he going to go? Like that sets off another mini domino chain of what are we watching in terms of like quarterbacks leaving everywhere. Poor Matty Ice, like given his whole career to the Falcons. Still not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But they're just like he was supposed to receive his bonus today, his like $7.5 million bonus, and they pushed they moved the deadline on that to Tuesday. So and I'm pretty sure he's going to have to agree to that. Just like, yeah, I'll give you guys more time to see if you can land Deshaun Watson and replace me. That's how nice of a guy I am, Matt Ryan.
Listen, Matt Ryan in Cleveland and Matt Ryan in Indianapolis, both I think would be successful. 100%. I mean,
okay, so here's the question. If you're Matt Ryan, would you rather play for the Colts or the Browns?
I think Colts just because of how much better the organization is run.
I'll say the Browns just because
the Browns have a better chance, I think, of going right now to win. So,
like, I think Matt Ryan needs talent on offense, and the Colts have the running back. But so do the Browns. It's just the receiving options in Cleveland are so much more appealing to me if I'm a quarterback.
I agree.
They have Amari Cooper now. They brought back David Njoku. Yes, Jarvis Landry's gone, but, you know, maybe they can go after one of these free agent receivers.
Their defense is already good.
And their defense is good. Colts are a better organization. Maybe Frank Reich, a little bit better head coach than Kevin Stefanski. That's a tough decision.
Well, here's the thing. What's interesting about that entire scenario, too, is you go, okay, we're going to have to trade for Matt Ryan. However, the leverage that the Falcons are going to have, I mean, you're going to have a couple teams that are going to be in the market, but then there's going to be teams that are going to be in the market for Baker Mayfield. You know, he's younger. He's more of like raw talent. It'll be cheaper. So I think if you're the Browns, you are kind of hoping that, you know, Deshaun Watson goes to the Falcons because you're wanting him. And then there's still Jimmy Garoppolo who's floating out there as well. Like there's so many dominoes that are waiting to fall based on Deshaun Watson. And this is going to just like, you know, ripple into next week. Like it's going to be pandemonium if he goes to the Falcons because that just opens up the doors for so many opportunities of QBs going, like being shuffled around the league.
Oh yeah. I saw,
Ogunjobi's not on the Bears anymore. He failed his physical.
Yeah, I just saw that too. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, and I guess you could throw in Seattle as a possible player for a team that might try to acquire one of these QBs.
Yep.
And that's the thing where Atlanta is in a nice spot if they they give up their picks for Deshaun Watson. They can get some of that draft capital back in the Matt Ryan trade. Maybe not a first rounder, but you could probably get a second and third rounder for Matt Ryan. I don't know. So that's probably what they're trying to tell Deshaun Watson too. It's like, come here, we'll get some trade capital back for Matt Ryan. This is our plan in the draft.
Apparently they've been whining and dining him, like, and just being like, oh, we want you so bad. So
we want you so bad.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to the Falcons. But again, if I'm Deshaun Watson, like you said, I'm choosing to go to the Saints because I think I would win more football games.
Yeah.
So Yeah. It's going to be fascinating by the end of free agency and leading up to the draft, which teams have just made moves for QBs and which ones are still in need of QBs, considering how it's perceived as a weaker draft class. If that need, like maybe the QBs, like there's not really a reach for them. Maybe they do, like, there's not a run of QBs.
Well,
Because,
yeah, I mean, that's like the perfect storm of this crazy offseason.
Yep.
A big part of all of the quarterback shakeup is because a lot of teams are not high on this quarterback draft class. But now you start to look at the Panthers sitting there at, what are they at, 8 again? Where's their draft pick? Carolina's at 6. They need a quarterback. And if there's a quarterback they like in this draft, take it at 6. Don't dick around and wait for later in the draft, or trade back maybe a little bit to get your quarterback. Panthers need to draft a quarterback. You can look at the Giants as possibly drafting one. The Seahawks could draft one at 9. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah. And again, the Browns could be in there too. The Colts could be in there too. And there's still Baker Mayfield, Jimmy G, potentially Matty Ice, Jordan Love, maybe. There's so many guys that
the Packers are going to draft him again.
Yeah, we're going to draft him again. And then we're going to draft a QB with one of our first round picks.
Oh, if you're how like what's it in the second or third round, they let the fans come up and read the draft picks.
Yeah.
If you're a Packers fan, go up there and say Jordan Love is who the Packers draft. Just do it for the joke. I go, sorry. Oh no, not Jordan Love, whoever the player is, but God, I will send you $500 if a Packers fan does that. Oh, that would be
just deadpan. The Packers select Davante Adams. Davante, I want you back. I want you back, Davante.
Tom, you got a hundo.
You got a hundo?
You got a hundo.
I got a hundo? Oh, I got a hundo. Pens, Tom Hunt.
Hey, it's an Avalanche fan, too.
I know how you feel. When Tom Brady left the Patriots 2 years ago, I was so depressed. Pens, there's only one thing that could try and brighten our spirits.
Johnny John John!
But yeah, Pens, I feel you. And listen, that day is a coming with Aaron Rodgers too. It's
yeah.
I'm scared.
I don't know why Rodgers went back to the Packers, honestly, Tom.
Okay, can we talk about
honestly why? If he knew Davante Adams was not going to go back there, why the hell would he pick your team to go play?
Because he still thinks they can win football game like that.
Okay.
That's then why did he come back?
To Denver.
Then why did he come back? Maybe he hated Denver so much, like that he just didn't want to go. But
he hates this great state.
No, just you.
I sent him the
compilation of all the things that you said. I sent it to Kurt Benkert, who then sent it to Aaron Rodgers. He's like, no, that's not happening. Sure. But I'm sorry, Pip. Aaron Rodgers, I don't think, if anything, I think Aaron Rodgers makes it a little bit more attractive for a guy like Davante Adams to come back. But the Packers offered Davante Adams the same amount of money, if not more, than what the Raiders offered. And Davante Adams just said he wanted to go play with the Raiders. So now, these next 2 years, the Packers are in better cap space because of Aaron Rodgers. And listen, down the road, it's going to be a crap show. But the thing that I'm going to say, someone was going to pay Aaron Rodgers, whether it was going to be the Broncos or whether it was going to be the Packers. And it turned out to be the Packers were going to pay him because that guy is back-to-back MVP. He deserves to get paid just like Davante Adams deserved to get paid. Like, I feel like that there's such this divide. We look at a Tom Brady who is like, oh, well, he's always taking pay cuts. He made what, like $40-something million in incentives last year. He has a wife who is like a cajillionaire, like can afford to do that. Not everyone is Tom Brady. And I mean that in the best and worst case scenario. So I think I will always be on the player's side if they want more money because it takes like a hit and you're done. So both of them deserve to get paid. Both of them got paid. It allows the cap to be more flexible for the next 2 years of the Packers. That's what their window really is. They could push that to a third season and see if they can go win something. Like, that's it. Like that's the best that they could possibly do, because with Aaron Rodgers, you have your best chance of winning a Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, for the Packers,
Maybe
obviously.
come back. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like in order for, you are basically saying, oh, are you going to pay a lot of money to potentially go to the Super Bowl? Yes. Done. That's what the Packers did. And if they didn't do it, another team was going to.
Yeah, I'm saying he should have went to another team.
It's an interesting thought of like why he did, because he said last year, or this year, I'm sorry, at the end of this year, he said, but
money.
Perna, I think honestly, he could have gotten paid more money by another team. I'm dead on it. I really think that he could have gotten paid more money from another team. Maybe. You're telling me that like a team that has a crap ton of cap space, like you're telling me that the Washington Commanders wouldn't be like, we're going to give you like $300 million.
No,
like, no
almighty. Way. No way. Yeah, Commanders probably could have pulled it out.
Like, look at these
what
teams.
Should have happened? The Raiders should have traded Derek Carr to the Packers and draft picks for Aaron Rodgers, and then traded all of their other draft picks to the Packers for Davante Adams. Boom. Adams gets to play for the Raiders. Rodgers gets to play with Davante Adams. And then my AFC West quarterback video is guaranteed.
Yes.
Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Justin Herbert, Patrick
That'd
Mahomes.
be wild.
And Derek Carr's good, but you throw in
Rodgers
over? Oh, man.
I just think if you look at the situation, the Packers are going to be great on defense again, and they just have to rebuild the offense in terms of receivers. They already have the running backs. They have the offensive line. They just need receivers now. And worst case scenario, I still think they're a playoff team. And as we all know, and last year is a great example of that, number 4 seeds can go all the way. And I said the number 1 seed hasn't done the Packers any favors 2 years in a row. It just hasn't. We talk about home field advantage and the allure of Lambeau Field and the cold in January. Guess what? We've gotten beat twice. And both by like warmer weather teams, the 49ers and the Buccaneers. So
go play it in the dome somewhere on the road. Better chance for Aaron Rodgers.
That's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't make, you just have to get to the dance. That's all it is. And maybe the defense will be the difference. Maybe getting more weapons will be the difference. Who knows? I can't tell you because I don't know. But that's my take on it.
Hot take. Cold take.
The hottest.
Take
Done.
Your life. Your soul. Aaron Rodgers.
Nailed it. Just nailed it. But yeah, Packers really need to go and draft a wide receiver. Maybe 2. Maybe 2. And they need to pick up in free agency. We'll see. I'll probably
pick a wide receiver and then take Colorado State's Trey McBride tight end. That's a nice
another tight end. We got Jay Sternberger, Josiah DeGuara, now another one.
Not a guy who's a game changer though.
Mm.
Not a guy who is basically another receiver.
There you go. Or Kyle Pitts gets traded.
Oh.
Why? I don't know. Who cares? Who cares?
Hi, Deshaun. Welcome to Atlanta. We traded Kyle Pitts to get you. You now
Can you imagine if like the Falcons, like they've been working with the Texans this whole time, and the Texans are like, I just want them to suffer. Like I want him to suffer. And they just gut their team, like gut him. Like they're like picking up practice squad guys for every position. And they're like, get ahead, Deshaun. He'll be like, oh, it's like I'm playing on the Texans again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Texans already kind of did that to him. So maybe that wouldn't be too surprising.
Welcome to Atlanta. We're most like Houston, Deshaun. We've got nobody to help you win.
Mm-hmm.
And
we'll give you a lot of money.
If we identify that guy, we're going to trade him to the Cardinals for nobody.
True. Brandon Perna, what do you got coming out today?
Probably just NFL news video. Probably talking about Davante Adams going to the Raiders because we didn't talk about it enough already.
True.
And then next week, I'm working on every team's best and worst move in free agency. I am glad I've been patient with this video because
it's chaotic.
Every time you're like, okay, I think things are settling. Nope. Got to wait for this Deshaun Watson news to land. So That's what I got. I'm working on. Hopefully, you.
We talked about Mayfield all yesterday.
You got 12, 13 videos coming out today, Tom?
I got the Friday night Q&A tonight. I'm probably going to do free agent wide receiver targets for the Packers that they should be looking at.
There you go.
And then if the Deshaun Watson news breaks, as soon as it breaks, we're doing every team's reaction to Deshaun Watson. So
Wow.
We're doing it. We're growing. We're trying to get to 300K, baby.
No, you're going to hit it fast.
Let's get it. So, but folks, we hope you have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you back here on a Monday for a little GPS.
More news to follow.
That's it. But thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS. And you have been navigated.
And you've reached your destiny.